Okay, today I want to talk about eggs and cholesterol because on this course I'll be encouraging you to eat quite a lot of eggs. And usually when we start, people are really worried that it's going to increase their cholesterol. I will cover cholesterol on one of the teaching sessions as we go along, but just to help you be at ease at eating eggs, I want to talk about eggs today. So today we're going to talk about understanding the facts and debunking the myths on this program on how to improve your metabolic health naturally. So as a health and wellness coach, what I tell you here is not intended to diagnose or treat or cure any medical condition. This session is for information purposes only, and it's not to substitute for any professional medical advice that you receive. I will be asking you to consult your GP when we identify any issues. And as a pharmacist, I'm available for private consultations regarding your medications. If you experience any side effects or need so we can discuss them, but I will be asking you to discuss any changes with your GP that we identify. So when we look at eggs, we look at the nutrient content, and as you can see from here, eggs contain so many nutrients. One egg consists of about 70 calories. It has fat in it. It does have cholesterol as well. It has sodium, only a little bit of carbohydrates, and no fiber. Also, it has a lot of protein, vitamin D, calcium, iron, potassium, vitamin A, B12, riboflavin, and just stop that there. And also folate, vitamin E, choline, and lutein, and zeaxanthin, and selenium. So you can see, and you can pause the video here to see what each of these nutrients do for you. So eggs are a rich source of nutrients, as you've seen, some of which are more readily available from animal-based foods, and I'm going to cover those here. So B12, for instance, that can only be found in animal products, and you get rich sources in meat, eggs, fish, and dairy, and also some plants do not produce it at all. So if you're on a plant-based diet, you would definitely need to supplement with B12. Choline, while that can be found in some plant foods, it's normally just abundant in animal sources like eggs and meat. Now, vitamin D, that's naturally found in significant amounts in only certain animal products like fish and eggs, although it can be synthesized in some plant-based products, but you need to expose them to the sunlight to get these vitamin D. And then we have other proteins, other nutrients like protein, iron, calcium, potassium, vitamin A, riboflavin, folate, vitamin E, and selenium. And these are obtained from both animal and plant sources. Although they are more bioavailable from the animal sources, that means that when you obtain them from plant sources, your body will struggle hard to extract them. So what are the benefits, of eggs? They're very affordable. Eggs are very budget friendly, really good source of essential nutrients. They come with high protein content, and egg contains all the essential amino acids which will support muscle and tissue health. Key vitamins rich in B12, which supports nerve function. And then we have riboflavin and B2 and vitamin D, which is important for bones. They're also important minerals, so it's a good source of selenium, which is an antioxidant, and phosphorus, and it includes a healthy fats, so monosaturated fats and polyunsaturated fats. It's also cholesterol friendly, although it contains a lot of cholesterol. Research shows that it has minimal cholesterol a minimal effect on the cholesterol for most people. And also they're very versatile. Eggs fit into many meals, making them a global dietary choice. So this information was obtained from the USDA, and you can have a look at that reference. So should we fear egg cholesterol? So first of all, let's talk about what is cholesterol. It's a waxy substance your body needs for important functions like building cells and making hormones. And I'm just going to talk you through a few of these. So for instance, cholesterol is a precursor for vitamin D. So what that means is you have to have cholesterol in your body to make vitamin D. The cholesterol is what is used to manufacture the vitamin D. It's also in your plasma as a lipoprotein, so floating around in your body plasma, and also they are precursors. Cholesterol is a precursor for steroid hormones. So the first one is aldosterone, which is involved in blood pressure regulation, and then cortisol, which we need for our stress response, and then all the sex hormones, the progesterone, the estrogen and testosterone, they're all made from cholesterol. We also have bile acid synthesis. That cholesterol is one of the components that is used to make the bile acid, which we need to break down fats. Cholesterol also is involved in insulating your nerve fibers, and it's in your cells to maintain the fluidity of the cells, to make them malleable and so that they can bend and float through your body and do whatever they need to do. And also it controls membrane homeostasis, which is it prevents certain things from coming in the cell. It just regulates what should be in the cell. So now I just want to talk about where cholesterol comes from. So we know that we get cholesterol from eggs, but let's think about this myth versus the fact, because many people worry that eating eggs raises cholesterol too high. However, research shows that dietary cholesterol doesn't strongly affect heart disease risk. Your liver makes about 80% of your cholesterol. The rest of it comes from your food. Usually your body can filter out cholesterol that it doesn't need. If you don't eat anything with cholesterol in it, your liver will make the cholesterol that you actually need. So this graph just shows you how much cholesterol your body actually makes, and the percentage that actually comes from food. So if you're not eating cholesterol rich food, you will make the cholesterol you need, because remember, we have cholesterol in all our cells, in the membrane, and we need it for our hormones, and we just need a whole host of cholesterol. So if we're not ingesting it, our body will make it to meet our needs. So what does the science say? Studies have not found a clear link between dietary cholesterol, like from eggs, and heart disease. The current health guidelines have relaxed restriction on egg consumption. So this you can see in the US, in Ireland and Australia, but there are no guidelines in the UK that have actually relaxed the amount of cholesterol we can eat. But the UK guidelines often follow the US guidelines, so that will be coming. New research also shows that dietary cholesterol from eggs has very little impact on blood cholesterol for most people. Maybe those that it does have an impact on, they probably have a hereditary disease, and if you had that, you would know. So key organizations like the American Heart Association and the 2015-2020 dietary guidelines for Americans have updated their statements, saying that there's no limit to the amount of dietary cholesterol you can have. There's new understanding that acknowledges that egg consumptions linked to heart disease is less direct than previously thought. So lots of changes in that area. So I just want to talk about statins. These are medications that are used to lower high cholesterol levels, reduce and they do reduce the risk of cardiovascular disease, but mainly in people who've already had heart attacks and strokes. So if you haven't had a heart attack or stroke, it's less beneficial. They work by reducing the cholesterol production in the liver, which helps prevent artery blockages from when cholesterol does build up. But that's a whole nother situation that we can discuss later, particularly those at high risk of cardiovascular disease. So you're at high risk of cardiovascular disease. If you've already had an event, if you've had a stroke or heart attack, then you're at high risk of having that again. So now let's just look at the side effects of taking a statin. So this can be muscle pain, you can have digestive issues, you can have it can also cause diabetes, it can cause liver disease, there's memory issues, headaches and dizziness, and sleep disturbances. So, and all these are caused by when it reduces your cholesterol. So the importance of cholesterol in the body is really significant, and lowering it can lead to various side effects, and that's associated with these drugs. So you really need to think carefully before you do take these drugs, because you're bound to suffer from one or two of these side effects, if not more. So people ask, how many eggs are okay? So experts say eggs can be part of a healthy diet. Many health conscious individuals who want to heal themselves natural eat several eggs a day without any issues, and they can eat up to 4 to 5 eggs daily without any issues. So these are doctors in the lifestyle space who recommend lifestyle changes rather than medication. They tend to eat several eggs a day and they don't have any issues. Personally, I have eaten, one day I had 7 eggs, and most minimum when I'm eating eggs is 3, but sometimes I would have 4. Considering your body already makes 80% of the cholesterol and wastes any you don't need, I don't think we should be fearing excess cholesterol. So even if you are eating a lot of eggs, your body will just waste what you don't need. And if you're not eating any eggs, your body will make the cholesterol that you actually need. So I don't think we need to fear cholesterol. Research shows dietary cholesterol from eggs and other foods have very little impact on blood cholesterol for most people. So basically, I would say eat as many as you like. And on this course, I will be asking you to start your first change with your diet will be changing your breakfast, and the easiest substitute will be to eat eggs. And I'll be asking you to eat as many eggs as possible to make you full. You will only eat eggs without any carbohydrates. You can eat them any which way you want to eat them. You can make them as an omelette, you can boil them, you can poach them, you can mix them with above ground vegetables, you can mix them with tin fish, you can have them with bacon, with sausages, or with tomatoes, but any which way you want, but make sure you eat enough until you're full. If you only cook 2 eggs, and show it to me and say, this is what I had for breakfast, I'm going to ask you to eat more because you need to be full. And as you move along the program, when you transition to having maybe 2 low carb meals a day, you probably won't be needing to eat as many eggs as you start discovering other foods that will fill you up. But to start off with, because it's the easiest go-to meal, I will start you off with eggs, and hopefully you will transition from that as the course goes on. So I just want to bring your attention to this experiment that was carried out by a doctor called Nick Northwitz. He's a researcher and he works within the low carb community, and he's done many he's involved in metabolic health, so improving your blood sugar, your blood pressure, and your weight distribution, your fat distribution. So that's what he does, and he's in America and he's quite famous. So what he did was he did a 30-day egg experiment, and this was done in September last year, and he ate 24 eggs each day for 30 days. And the hypothesis was eating so many eggs would increase the so-called bad cholesterol. Now, so he had 133,200 milligrams of cholesterol in consumed in 1 month from those eggs, and the CDC in America says that high LDL levels can increase the risk of heart disease and stroke. So knowing this, he wanted to try out what the CDC had predicted. Okay, so surprisingly, the outcome was his LDL, which is the so-called bad cholesterol, dropped by 2% in 2 weeks, and an additional 18% after 4 weeks. So the science showed that increased cholesterol intake led to a reduced internal cholesterol production because his cholesterol actually dropped. So the key takeaway here is, despite his high cholesterol intake from eggs, Dr. Norwitz's LDL decreased rather than increased. And you can watch a video on this on YouTube by copying this link.